chat. And let's go and cast maybe the matchup of the day. Classic versus INnoVation. As we have to the bottom right hand side our blue Terran player, it's going to be INnoVation. And he is going up against the red Protoss to the top left hand side of the map. Let's hear it, guys, if you're cheering on Classic. Set up into this TvP best of 3. Classic looking pretty good against Keen, but not unbeatable, I would say. So intrigued to see how this goes. Intrigued to see what's going to happen here as we set on up, and look to see what's going to happen. Again, do let me know what's up in the chat, guys. I do want to hear who you think is going to win this right now. So get on this. Come let me know. Make it be heard. And so on and so on. By the way, again, thank you. I didn't mention it again, but thank you to Kellers, thank you to Dolly Goes for the subs. Thank you for the cheers as well, Mabney420. I meant to mention it again at the end of the last game, but I did not. Bad Wardy, forgetting to do stuff. Oh, it's getting difficult, man. Being a streamer, got to start shouting out these sponsors. Which we got? How sick is that? An actual stream sponsor. You know what's more exciting? We've got another stream sponsor coming up in about 3 or 4 days. So from having no stream sponsors for the last 4 years of streaming, we've suddenly got 2. How about that? Guys, this early game is very standard. Protoss player with Nexus on the way up, Terran player with a command center on the way up, and with a Reaper about to finish as well. Factory starts up here as well from INnoVation, so Factory is on the way, and this Reaper starts to move across towards the upper left hand side of the map. So we're moving in towards the upper left. We're looking to see what it can get up to, and yeah, just going to be seeing the kind of the mothership core about halfway done. And the factory about halfway done as well. Refineries on the way up also. All these different little bits and pieces just coming into play. I mean, the factory in the second gas is interesting for INnoVation. To be fair, we should probably get rid of the key button. Sorry, misclicked that. Yeah, the factory in the second gas means he really wants to commit into some gas-based units and some tech here. Like whether it's like a similar push to what Keen just did with a tech lab and a siege tank, or what exactly the plan is, we don't know yet. We'll see if it's going to be a Widow Mine right now out of this factory, or if it's going to be a tech lab. It is going to be a Widow Mine. Generally the safer way to play. Helps you a lot against any sort of Oracle opening, any sort of early unit opening as well. That Widow Mine can do so much to zone your opponent out. And of course it allows you to harass as well. Now Classic, as he moves across the map, does have a pylon on the way up, so he is planning to go for a little bit of pressure here. And at this point, INnoVation, well, he probably just wants to try and get a Cyclone now. It's actually crazy. You know what's really crazy? How fast Cyclones kill these pylons. I realized that the other day when someone had a Cyclone against one of these pylon rushes, and it went went south very quickly for the Protoss player. As we're going to be seeing this Reaper over here is actually going to pick off 2 workers already. Now a third. If he target fires INnoVation, he pays attention. He doesn't get the kill though. And he's going to keep the Reaper alive at least, which is something. Losing his depot back at home. And we're going to be seeing probably losing the other one as well. The first Widow Mine shot does pick off the Adept. Actually, does he use another overcharge? He does use another overcharge. Well, that's going to be meaning that the mothership core can't recall home. Can start a head home very shortly though, but he has to make sure he gets this depot first, because he is going to lose high ground vision when he backs away with this. In fact, this depot might not go down if the STVs to support this here. Looks as though all is good to see the mothership core again shooting onto that STV. A few Marines as well. INnoVation just continue to work his way through this, and he will clean this up. Alright, just to read through a little bit, INnoVation 2-1 for sure from God Life. I feel like I read that one. Classic's playing well as Escape Machine. Inno says Jim Sock. Classic says JHB as well. Cot Life subscribes. Thank you very much for subbing. I will give you a proper shout out after the game. For now, we have Widow Mine drops coming in towards the upper left. So we're going to be seeing these Widow Mines dropping in towards the main base here. Looking to get some damage done. Those 2 Widow Mines, I mean, already these probes pulling away. Man, imagine the grenade actually threw the probes back in towards the Widow Mines. That would be crazy. 2 Stalkers actually go down to the Widow Mines, which is a bit of a different way to get damage done. A couple of probes going down into splash damage as well. And as we see, INnoVation, his little counter-attack here is fairly effective. It goes okay for him. As you can see, this medevac just dropping off a Reaper, and again, little bits and pieces around as he goes into a tank back at home. Second and third racks. What we've generally been seeing from Terran players lately in this patch is that they like to get a couple of tanks out to make up for what is a much later sort of stim pack and combat shields they seem to be getting than they used to. So we'll probably see the second tank pop out. The factory will back away from this tech lab to allow double tech lab to be down. And then we see stim and combat shield start up. The factory builds a reactor or tech lab if he wants to build more tanks, or if he wants to build mines, then a reactor obviously. and then we just go from there. So that's what we're more or less looking at this point. Factory, so it's going to lift, as we mentioned, is going to be a reactor. So going to go into Woodermine base play for the 2 tanks to just keep them fairly safe. And with this, you can take a third base quite nicely, especially on Echo, a map where the 2 tanks will cover so much area. Will cover all of the entry points, so that's going to be really, really nice here for INnoVation. It's a really good setup for him here. In the early stages of game, number 1. War Prism is going to jump up into this, well, Fear Depth, sorry, jump up into this War Prism. Stalk's coming down to the bottom right hand side trying to see what's going on. We see Combat Shields and Stim is starting. +1 weapons is coming in as well, so not too far away. This coming from INnoVation just going to get picked off pretty swiftly, as we're going to be seeing again this War Prism. Let's see what's happening. The Marines trying to trade at the front as well. This is what the tanks are good at. Help them to keep you safe in this stage of the game. One tank keeps the front very safe, one tank keeping the main base access very safe. And behind this INnoVation, still just sent up into lots of units. No sign of a 3rd CC, no sign of a 4th and 5th racks. Just massing up units, but he is getting towards that 400 mineral marker quite often now. And he starts 2 Liberators, so he is still going to go for pressure. So he wants to go for like a 2 Liberator, 2 tank attack. With Stim, Combat Shields and +1. That's what this is lining up towards in the very near future. So INnoVation can get very aggressive here very shortly, and it really just comes down to Classic. How well can he position himself? How well does he start to engage into what his opponent is doing? His blink upgrade is on the way. That's just now, well, it's on the way up. You know, it's started fairly recently, but you'll have blink to help deal with this, especially against the Liberators. That's going to be nice to reposition the Stalkers as required. So that's going to be a nice little added benefit, as it's going to see this pylon added on as well. Scan comes down, and INnoVation starting to move in towards the upper left-hand side of the map. So INnoVation starts coming up towards the upper left-hand side. You're going to see this blink upgrade is now halfway done, so it's not going to actually be ready for this fight. I thought it might have been, but it is a very late Twilight Council, to be fair. As you see, the Warp doesn't play across the map. These Adepts have been annoying, and only 2 Marauders in position. Finally, they Stim once again to help out. Oh man, you know what? I think Classic is just dead. Like, these 2 tanks siege, Liberators are slowly pushed forwards. Like, he's got Stim and everything. Like, he just stims into this straight away. These Stalkers disappear. Target fires down and Hallucinated Archon. Doesn't really help INnoVation out, but I mean, Woodermine's actually burrowing right on top of this army. Oh man, INnoVation just crushes through here, and just not enough. Look at this, the Mule as well. Wow, INnoVation. You gotta remember these guys were teammates. They were talking a lot before the game as well. I imagine that they were maybe bantering a bit. Probably good friends, I imagine, from being on the same team so far. Or maybe INnoVation really hates Classic and he really wants this Mule to mean a lot. Really wants to BM him here. I would think the former, but I don't know. It's hard to say. We don't really. INnoVation doesn't seem like the kind of guy to really BF anyone, you know. To really have a vendetta, especially a teammate. Anyways, we're going to be seeing that's a GG, and INnoVation goes 1-0 up in the series as he takes out Classic on Echo. 50 we go. To 150 we go. Guys, welcome back to this series. To the top right hand side, INnoVation is our blue Terran player, looking to see what he's going to be able to bring out in game 2 against his Protoss opponent. To the bottom right, our red Protoss player is Classic. Last series of Classic for the day. Last series today for Classic. Now, after Classic series, INnoVation series will continue. INnoVation plays against Keen, INnoVation plays against Cyan, and to finish the day, Keen will play Cyan as well, if required. If it's not already decided who goes through the group. If it is decided, then Cyan Keen might not play, but that's the way this is right now. Last time Cyan Keen played, they had a really long series. It's actually kind of ridiculous. They played like it was like 20-minute games, 3 games in a row. It was pretty crazy. Who would advance in this tournament if the group stage ends with 3 players at 2-1? Asks Glowen in the chat. Actually, great question. So the tiebreakers we use, I believe, are map score and then head-to-head. So it goes map score, then head-to-head. If it's a complete tie on map score and it's a 3-way tie because of head-to-head, head-to-head doesn't work, it's a 3-way tie, then we do tiebreaker best of 1 matches. That's happened once this year in Leifeng Cups and SGL Cups combined. It's happened once. Gumiho Stats and Alive went to tiebreakers. First set of tiebreakers it did get decided, and it was actually kind of fun. It was actually kind of cool to see the best of 1s and see how the players approach the games a little bit differently in the best of 1 to the best of 3s they played just beforehand. Robo facility from Classic. Once again, he loves these Robo openings. Does not see any need to get a fast Twilight apparently, although in the last game I kind of did see a need, because when that attack came in, he did not have the tools he needed to fight against it, so that wasn't, I mean, I guess there's other things which which go towards that, obviously. You see this Reaper just going to be, moving around. So we're just moving around a little bit, and we're just going to be seeing the, command center on the natural expansion is, coming on up here as well. So, command center on the natural expansion, about halfway done. In terms of morphing into an orbital, 2 more gates from Classic. So again, just Warp Prism, play it early. I'm just going to look to see what he can do with this. Is INnoVation, pretty much the same build as last time. 2 Widow Mines, Medevac comes up. Obviously he doesn't get Pylon Rush, so it doesn't slow him down at all this time around. I'm just going to be seeing the 2 Widow Mines loading up very shortly to go across the map and do a little bit of harassment here early. See if INnoVation can take much of an advantage in these early stages. A few Marines just gathering up on the low ground here, so a few Marines down to the low ground, and here's this Reaper coming up in towards the third base as well. So it's going to be seeing this Reaper just scouting around still, checks the third base out, doesn't really see any, I mean there isn't anything up here, still don't see much up here. And here we go, Medevac goes down to the bottom left hand side of the map, 2 Widow Mines inside, and looking to get ready to deal some real damage here. So let's see what he can get up to. Warp Prism goes up towards the right. He'll open a few Adepts, of course. What is the back of home? There must be an observer out. There's one observer, is in the main base, so it's pretty close by to respond. As we'll see, the Reaper will probably jump up in towards the main base. So Reaper goes in towards the main. Widow Mine's already burrowed in the natural, just one worker will go down to this just so you can get back to mining nice and quickly. Second Widow Mine still in this Medevac as it loops around. And I guess may try to go towards the main. Reaper picks off 1 probe, now 2 probes. That's 3 probes killed in total, and he's probably going to get another if he wants it. Actually doesn't target the one on lower health, which is a bit of a mistake. Otherwise I actually think he would have gotten the kill there. Anyways, across the map these units are going to start coming in. 3 Adepts and 3 Stalkers. The Siege Tank goes down early. That's going to completely shut INnoVation down if he was thinking of going for somewhat of a similar attack to what he went for before. Probably not. I think he was going for actually a much different attack, a much quicker attack. He loses 4 workers himself, so for the 3 workers he's picked up, he's going to lose 4 of his own. So pretty even trades either side, both players just losing a few SCVs, a few probes. Neither of them losing a specific, a huge chunk of army or anything. I'm just going to be seeing the Warp Prism just moving over to the right hand side once again. So Warp Prism moves over to the right hand side, factory lifts and the reactor comes down. And this barracks from INnoVation going to be lifting and going on to the tech lab here very soon as well. So just continue to setting up Stalkers and Adept, looking to see what else they can get up to. Marines will move forward here from INnoVation, doing a little bit more damage, and again just continue to deal a little bit more here as we see these Stalkers, 2 Adepts and Mortal moving forward towards the front. And well, there's a tank in position as INnoVation is being pulled from left to right at the moment between his natural and his main. I mean, here we go, he has to try and start getting rid of the Siege Tank. He does go down, the repair isn't in time. INnoVation really starting to find some issues now. He's actually really coming into trouble as more Warpins into the main base are going to clean up these Marines that are coming to react, no problem at all. And still more units at the front. Some more Stalkers join the fray. Classic, all of a sudden we've just, well, sort of out of nowhere, just has so many units all over the place, and he's dealing so much damage. 9 workers have gone down. He'll kill so many depots on the low ground. It's going to be a mega supply block for INnoVation. Warp Prism's still around in the main as well. Stim Pack isn't done for at least another 40 seconds or so, and that's going to be a little while longer than that INnoVation has to hold off for without that Stim Pack. You see, Warp Prism is taken down, but I mean, still, the damage done on the low ground is crazy. He's picked off so many depots. The supply block is so heavy. I mean, INnoVation has to build 3 depots just to get out. He hasn't even started. He's got 1 on the way up. I mean, he could call down some supply, but one of his orbitals is lifted into the air because he got forced to lift. He lost some workers. Classic puts himself in a great spot in Game 2 as he goes into a 3rd base. Behind this, of course, Nexus is on the way up. His Blink is on the way up. The Forge is coming up as well. Classic knows exactly what he's going for here. And with the damage done, he knows he's got an advantage. He just needs to play it out a little bit, get those upgrades in play, get his extra economy in play, defend a little bit, make sure no drops do any damage. And from there, things will look very sweet for Classic to tie up this series and maybe still take 1st place in this group. Of course, 1st place generally goes to the tier up. You know, you expect INnoVation to probably beat Keen and Cyan. Might not happen, but you expect it to happen. And so if that's what you're sort of expecting, well, I mean, we'll see what happens. But Slack Classic, if he wants to secure 1st place in the group, needs to win this now. If he finished 2-1, he could still finish 1st, depending on the other match results. So winning this now, though, does put him securely through the group. And that would be very important, as we're going to see these Adepts load up into the Prism and starting to move in towards the natural expansion. Already a Widowmine in position, it will connect. Obviously doesn't kill the War Prism, but the Liberators will, as they chase that down very quickly. Reinforcements just going to pick off that couple of Adepts, and that's really no problem at all. Good defense by INnoVation. And that's the sort of defense that will bring him back into this game, very significantly, very quickly as well. Forge is about halfway done in terms of the +1 attack upgrade, as INnoVation moves down to the south side. So INnoVation moving down to the south side here. We've got 5 barracks in the main. He's not got a third base. He's just going to commit to 2 base attack. Maybe Classic's in a little bit more trouble than I thought. I mean, there's 2 Liberators here, and these Body Forces can trade quite nicely. The upgrades are in favor of INnoVation. About being 1-1 against 0-0 for a few moments. Like, that's huge. He pops triple overcharge to the south, which buys him time, but I mean, he needs to buy time for a little bit longer. He can't just buy time for the next 10 seconds and that's it. He needs to be able to not die for, probably another minute or two, as INnoVation really has a lot of pressure available to him on the map. That said, Classic's work account starting to come into play, because now he can make so much. He actually just walked in a whole ton of Adepts. Sorga's blink forwards immediately, so these Liberators are going to go down before they really get a shot off. Adept shade forwards too. The Widowmine connections are going to be not enough. INnoVation was tapping out before they even connected. He knew that game was over. Classic, too much damage in the early stages. Takes game 2 and ties this series up 1 game. Classic getting treated lately into so many good series, and they all keep on going the distance as well, which is really nice. As we have to the top left hand side of the map, the red Terran player, it's going to be INnoVation. And to the top right hand side, our blue Protoss, it's going to be Classic. Guys, so many of you are asking about the room I'm in. If you want to see it, I'm going to put it up on my Snapchat story right now, so you can see where I'm casting from. If you want to add me on Snapchat, WardiXO is my Snapchat. This is where I'm casting from right now. You can see it on Snapchat. So WardiXO on Snapchat, WARDIXO. I put it on Snapchat, and that's where I'm casting from. And you can also keep up to date with all my esports adventures on the Snapchat, if you just want to see where I'm casting from quickly. I didn't take a picture. I just took a video around the room. You guys getting special treatment, special VIP tours. As we do set up now into game 3 of this series. Stargate play very early on from Classic. Double gas again. He's not afraid of going into these aggressive double gas openings against the Terran player. He's very happy to play aggressively if he feels that's what he needs to do. As INnoVation crosses the map with the Reaper, he'll find out about the lack of expansion, and one of the first things he'll do is probably build up a safe way to deal with any sort of Oracle-based play. As he comes in towards the main, and he won't see anything just yet. Goes for the mineral line. Probes don't kill the Reaper. Gets us very low though. Tries to blast the Adept, doesn't happen. And the Reaper goes down. He really dove in to try and get information there, but he just didn't find it. And so I think one of the things he will assume right from the get-go, there's probably Proxy Stargate. Bunker comes down as well for safety's sake. And I mean, well, Engineering Bay instantly too. So INnoVation with all the right decisions at this point. This bunker is actually going to, if it gets up, it might save the day against these pylons, but I don't think it will. SCV's trying to repair each other there, doesn't happen, and 2 Marines are fighting the wrong rocks. Gonna get rid of this probe, but actually already 1 Marine going down. And Classic doing a lot of damage here early. Does get into the bunker, but the bunker will just get overcharged down. Like, only 1 Marine is not going to do enough damage soon enough to really make too much of a difference here. Widowmine goes off to clean up, I think, an Adept or a probe. Either way, I mean, eventually the result is the same. INnoVation will lose his high ground depot. And going back to what happened in game number 1, INnoVation is taking a little bit of damage here and there early in the game. I'm just going to see this Adept shading forwards to try and see what's up and what's happening. Another depot gets picked off as Overcharge continue to pick away at this barracks now. SCV's starting to pull on in as the Oracle comes forwards too. There's still a little bit of an awkward fight. Like, INnoVation core sticks around to kind of keep on fighting. 2 Adepts in this mineral line is really creating issues, because actually there is nothing really to defend against this apart from SCV. So INnoVation losing 6 workers already. Finally, 2 Marines and a Viking will help out, and the Oracle gets hit by the Widowmine at the front. INnoVation begins to clean up. Another Oracle comes in. The Viking is a huge part of this now to help push this back and defend. He will be able to defend himself for a little bit longer here. 15 to 24 workers. Classic's expansion is building now. Actually going to be seeing a Cyclone follow up out of the factory, and probably because the Cyclone can do good damage on the ground and it can help out in the air as well. So that's both kind of good reasons to have the Cyclone spawn up. You're going to see a gold nexus as the expansion actually for Classic. Didn't see that until just now. But that's actually pretty interesting because with the gold nexus, he obviously just feels very confident that INnoVation has no real map presence anytime in the near future, as this Viking will be traded out for the Phoenix. Doesn't get the trade off though, he actually just straight up dies. And there's one Marine under Cyclone trying to do what they can. Two Marines in the center of the map, not sure what they're doing there. They go down. And Oracle just still looking for openings, still looking for opportunities to get more damage done here in Game 3 of the series on Habitation Station. Win this, if Classic wins this, he goes through the group in first place. And then INnoVation still has to play against Keen and Cyan in the remainder of our matches. So as Viking continue to build, it's about halfway done. See the factory can start morphing into a Cyclone now as well, and so we've seen a couple of Marines, I guess, going to be continuing to come out. It's been a tough one for INnoVation though, really falling behind early. And hopefully it can kind of pull it back a little bit and see if INnoVation can really make a fight out of this fifth game. To be fair, 8 workers behind isn't dreadful with double new on the map. I mean, if you look at the income, you can sort of see here like it's definitely popped into Classic's favour a couple of times, but even very recently it was in INnoVation's favour. It's just very dependent on when exactly that other things come into play. Phoenix and Adepts across the map though, picking up these Cyclones. These Cyclones which INnoVation is investing a lot into are currently useless as they're lifted up by these Phoenix. I mean, Adepts are killing them off so easily as well. Woodermine will connect and will pull off an Adept as he shades up the ramp. Keeps on committing forwards. I just don't think INnoVation has enough Marines or anything, you know, you can see it. He just doesn't have anything to really fight on the ground. Like, the Cyclones get lifted, and the problem with the Cyclones is they cost a lot. And because they cost a lot, lifting them with Phoenix is super efficient because you're taking out really expensive, valuable units from the engagement. And so INnoVation just does not have enough on the ground. And his first series of the day is going to be a loss. He GG's out here against Classic.